Singleton, Karn Liberated. One very interesting card in his deck is he's playing a single main deck Surgical Extraction. I don't know exactly the story behind that, but it definitely is a card that has the potential to have to be quite a blowout if the situation comes up.
You
I
never
don't
know.
know if it'll come up here. His opponent on the I believe those you have the deck lists the deck types listed on your screen are actually incorrect. It's actually Dustin Flora playing Blue Black Control and Chihoyim on the right playing Cobblade.
Yeah, Chihoyim playing Cobblade. Let's see. Looks like he's a fairly stock list.
Yep, relatively standard list. He has a Sun Titan, a Consecrated Sphinx. He still has Sword in his deck. He has Oblivion Ring, 3 Into the Royals, 2 Dismembers, 2 Timely Reinforcements in his main deck, only 1 copy of Jace Beleren. So he has 3 copies of Gideon Jura. He is much more sort of the old school Cobblade that you really saw.
He has the 28th land in the sideboard. I like this guy's style.
He has an extra land in the sideboard. He has 2 Azure Mages in the sideboard,
Yeah.
as well as 1 copy of Jace Beleren.
Very cool. Yeah, and we've been told, Jerry Thompson mentioned earlier that Chihoyim is actually a big name on Magic Online.
Yeah, he apparently plays a lot of Moto.
Under his real name, or allegedly. So, if you've ever lost a Chihoyim in a constructed queue, you can now get to watch him battle in action. Now, traditionally, I think Blue-Black has the edge in this matchup.
Well, it's up for debate. I know that when Nationals was going on, Ali Antrazi was very successful at taking down his Cobblade opponents with Blue-Black Control, but Blue-Black Control is not particularly well set up to actually deal with just the card Squadron Hawk. I mean, way back when, last year at Worlds, when we originally played Kago, the whole reason that we played the deck was because it was a control deck that had an advantage over Blue-Black control decks because of Squadron Hawk. Things have gotten a bit different. There's now Consecrated Sphinx in addition to Grave Titan as a sort of big finishers that Blue-Black control has access to, and Sphinx is much more dangerous than Grave Titan ever was. The Blue-Black control decks also have a lot more of their deck dedicated to cards that are less powerful against the Blue-Black control deck than vice versa. So here we have the start of the game. Dustin Flora opens up on Creeping Tar Pit. Chihoyim plays a Glacial Fortress. It looks like both players have 7-card hands.
Yep, I don't think there are too many mulligans. Looks like Chi has Timely Reinforcements in his grip, a Squadron Hawk that he just ripped on the second turn. Goes for Preordain, though. Preordain sticks, sees another Reinforcements and a Glacial Fortress. Chihoyim not taking any risks against Mono Red. 2 main deck Timely Reinforcements and then 4 core Firewalkers in the sideboard, along with 2 more Timely Reinforcements. He has 4 Firewalker, 4 Reinforcements after sideboard.
There are some people in this world who mess around, and he is not one of them. We saw Mono Red all over the place today, in the from the early rounds to the end of the tournament. The Mono Red deck that we saw in the last round made top 8, played by Lewis Walker, and then we actually have 2 more red decks played by Todd Judy and Michael Tabler, also in the top 8.
3 red decks.
So red was a very popular deck in this tournament, and it continued to be successful all the way to the final round.
Well, if Chihoyim gets past this round, has to fight some of the red decks, he's in really good shape.
He would be playing, if he wins this round, he'd be playing the winner between another blue-black deck and Mono Red.
So Chihoyim casts Squadron Hawk, grabs 2 more copies.
So the most important card in this matchup, really, Squadron Hawk for the Cobblade deck. He is staring down at Jace Beleren, and the original inclusion of Squadron Hawk in Blue-White Control, as I was mentioning earlier, that created Kago, was for exactly this reason, to fight against Jace Beleren. Right. You wanted to have a card that could pressure the opposing control decks, that you could sneak down either when they tapped out for Jace Beleren or even before they had mana. So Squadron Hawk is able to keep Jace Beleren from just running away with the game. But with the amount of spot removal that Blue-Black Control has access to, it's entirely possible that Squadron Hawk just will not be able to hold the fort the whole time. So
there's a Despise.
Despise takes a Hawk because that's all it can take.
Sees O-Ring, Day, Timely, Squadron Hawk,
sort of interesting.
Royal.
So Chi did not mulligan. It looks like he must have drawn a second Squadron Hawk, because he's on the draw here and he has 3 Hawks. So if he had So he must have drawn one, because there's no way he could have fetched up 2 and not had to discard.
Well, he did fetch up 2 last turn, so it's possible he mulliganed then.
Okay.
So he did mulligan.
Okay, he did fetch up 2. All right, so I guess she did mulligan.
Okay. But the deck mulligans so well you don't even notice.
Right, yeah. It's like...
She
when you mulligan, you just don't have to discard, so...
Let's see, but now he's a little land-land.
Well, this is and he's trying to protect his Jace Balaran with a go for the throat on that Squadron Hawk. Now, Chi has a mana leak that Dustin, I believe, knows about. I think he saw it when he casted Spies. And if he wanted to, he could have ensured that Jace did not die. But instead, he passed the turn and got Chi to use his mana on his own turn. So I think if Dustin has another Jace, that play makes a lot of sense.
Just something big he wants to land. I guess he only has 4, so he can't.
There's really no big spell to cast.
Liliana Vest, I guess, would be the one.
Liliana would be very powerful right here, though he also just saw his opponent's hand the last turn, so he doesn't have to fear Spell Pierce.
He doesn't know that he has O-Ring also,
right,
which is a factor.
So yeah, it looks like he has another Jace Balaran, which comes down.
Very nice.
And
he can leave up mana leak mana too.
It draws a card. Chi sitting here stuck on 3 land against his opponent's 5.
It draws a 3rd Jace Balaran.
So, and draws... Consecrated Sphinx is not what you want when you have 3 land in play.
Chi Ho Yim rocking some of the new Star City Games sleeves. Really look nice. And seen a lot of players using those this weekend. It's pretty cool. Get them here at the Star City Games Open Series.
I mean, the sleeves are pretty awesome. One of the expenses that a lot of people don't really take into account when they go to tournaments is, you really do have to sleeve your deck, with new sleeves for every tournament, because through a long tournament, 10 rounds, a lot of shuffling, you end up with sleeves that are just marked, and one of the benefits in the Players Club moving forward, free sleeves. It had for this this year, and now the sleeves, they're very cool ones. We have these. We have the sleeves with deck boxes made by Justin.
Yeah,
those are definitely
really cool.
all very sweet.
It's a very interesting artistic style for Magic you don't really get to see very often. Mm-hmm. So Dustin goes for Doomblade on Squadron Hawk, and she mana leaks it, trying to make the most of his landlight situation.
So yeah, he's trying to protect his Hawks, so he can actually fight through these Jace Balarans.
Justin going to say everyone draws a card, and she finally plucks a land, although it is a secret.
Yeah, it is a secret because it's going to come and play tapped.
And there's a Tectonic Edge, which will stifle Chi's van development if he draws a land. And there's Consecrated Sphinx.
Consecrated Sphinx is basically the most powerful card in this matchup.
Now, if she draws an upright land, he can Day of Judgment.
An upright land. I've never heard that term before. He does have an Oblivion Ring in his hand still, so
it's true.
That Oblivion Ring can take out that Sphinx. So though Dustin has
2 into the Royal.
Has 2 into the Royal in his deck. I don't know whether he has it in his hand, but it makes it very dangerous to try and rely on Oblivion Ring to deal with Consecrated Sphinx.
All right, let's see if Dustin has another haymaker he can throw. Chi dealt with the first one, the Consecrated Sphinx, but the 2 cards he plucked off that Sphinx will likely give him some more threats. I think I see an Inquisition in his hand, several lands, another blue card. Talked about a lot about land choices today. Dustin choosing to rock the old Unglued Swamps.
Not bad. I can get behind that. We haven't seen what Chi's land choices are.
Yeah.
He has only drawn non-basics and not very many of them.
Yeah. Into the Royal. Yeah, there's the Royal. Sends that ring back to Chi's hand, unlocks the Sphinx underneath. And
both draw.
The Sphinx is loose. Yep, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
3 cards, I suppose.
I will Ancestral.
All right, 1 for you, 3 for me. He's going to Inquisition, pluck anything that's in Chi's hand. Sees a Hawk, 2 Royals, an Oblivion Ring, a Sphinx, a Timely, a Preordain, and I can't quite make out what the last card. Maybe another Timely Reinforcements. Or a Squadron Hawk. Can't quite make out what it is.
It looks like from the right, Hawk Oblivion Ring, Into the Royal. Is that another Into the Royal?
Yeah, it's 2 Royals.
Yeah.
And then Concentrated Sphinx. I can't make out what the card after.
Looks like another Oblivion Ring.
2 Oblivion Rings? Okay.
I think so.
So Chi discards 1 Oblivion Ring to the Inquisition. And another Tectonic Edge. So he's going to
Double Tech Edge? Oh, dear.
And she just concedes.
I don't want to play anymore.
You have a Concentrated Sphinx out, and I have 2 lands.
Yeah.
All right, we're done.
So Dustin Flora takes the first game against Chihoi Yim. And how do you think the sideboarding in this looks?
Well, isn't Bloodghast a card a lot of people bring in this matchup?
Bloodghast is a card that Ali Antrazi and Shaheen Sorani sort of innovated in this matchup to make it so that they can play the aggressor. That it lets them have a card that the Caw-Blade deck can't counter. Can't realistically deal with most of the sort of effects that they have that can continue to pressure cards like Jace Beleren.
So I expect Bloodghast to come in, and probably the Duress, I think, are the main ones.
Yeah, Bloodghast and Duress both seem like they're the important cards.
From Chihoi Yim's side, Azure Mage will come in.
Jace Beleren, Azure Mage, Inkmoth Nexus. I think Mental Misstep comes in.
Yeah, you use it to fight the
He's fighting against Inquisition. He's fighting against Duress.
And there's a lot of cards she can take out. He's got 2 Timely Reinforcements.
Right. Yeah. He has a number of cards that are not. He has Dismembers. Those are pretty unimpressive as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think Dustin Flora takes out?
I think you take a. I'd probably take out the Surgical Extraction in almost every matchup. So
yeah,
I think he takes out the Surgical Extraction, and probably some removal spells. Takes out Extraction, a couple removal spells. Anyway, back in the booth, we're gonna quickly give away 3 months of Starts the Game is premium. The way this works, in case you aren't familiar with it, is we're gonna ask you a question, and then on Twitter you're gonna reply to our question with the hashtag SCG Premium. Everyone who replies enters into the contest, and if you answer correctly, we'll choose one person who answers correctly, and they'll win 3 months of Starts the Game's Premium. We'll give away 3 months now, 6 in the semifinals, and a whole year in the finals, and then run it back on tomorrow night for the Legacy top 8. So we've been playing a lot on Magic Online today. We've only been playing one deck. What is that deck that we've been playing on Magic Online? Tell us, and you can win 3 months of Starts the Game's Premium. You'll really want to check it out. All the best articles, including videos from you on how to play some of the decks we've been talking about, and of course more. You have Patrick Chapin, Mike Flores, Brad Nelson.
There's a lot of sweet action on Premium, and a lot of value to be had. So.
Yeah, I mean,
and this time it's free.
Yeah, and if you win this contest, you'll get it for free. And if you don't, fear not, plenty more opportunities to do so over the course of the next couple hours, or I guess next 24 hours or so.
a couple.
Yeah. All right. Today is the end of the quarterfinals.
It's been a long day. It
has been 10 rounds. Why not just play them all?
Melting. I don't even remember what deck I was playing all day. You got to remind me.
Make it a Magic Marathon. Yeah, so I think Dustin's going to... I would cut the 1 Surgical Extraction. He's bringing in 5 cards to cut the Surgical Extraction.
See, I'm not a big fan of Black Sun Zenith here, but it's one of the cards that's relatively important to be able to fight against a Squadron Hunter.
Right, and as only a 1 of, you're not going to get choked on them.
Yeah.
So I think playing 1 Zenith is pretty acceptable. You obviously want 4 Inquisitions. Mana Leak is good. You can maybe cut some of your removal spells if you want. You have 3 Go for the Throat or Doomblade, 2 End of the Royal. You can maybe shave down on some of those.
It's possible you can cut a Solemn. Or
yeah,
2.
I was gonna say if you're going on in the Bloodghast plan, Solemn just isn't as important. Mm-hmm. The games will probably go reasonably late. Those are the cards I would look at. As far as Chi Hoi Yim,
he has a lot of obvious cuts. He has Dismember that comes out, Time of Reinforcement that comes out. You can cut potentially a Day of Judgment. You probably want at least 1 in your deck.
Yeah, you want at least 1 day, but you can probably cut 1. So that's 5 cards right there. Bring in 2 Mage, 2 Messed Up at Jace.
I thought we saw. I guess he must not have had 2 Oblivion Rings.
Yeah, I think he had a second Timely Reinforcement.
Okay, I was pretty sure I saw another one, but it looks like he only has 1 in his deck. So
yeah, or maybe it was a Gideon potentially too.
Maybe.
Pretty sure it was Timely Reinforcement. So yeah, I think a lot of clear cuts for Chi Hoi Yim. Dustin Flora has a little more play in what he's doing. Victor Hanos says on Twitter, those sleeves would be better with Kibler on them. So
interesting.
It's true, we can't get Kibler branded sleeves. So who do you think has the edge after sideboarding? Still think it's blue-black? Especially after those Bloodghasts come in?
I do think that Bloodghast is a very big game here, and the amount of discard that Dustin Flora's deck is able to muster, could prove a serious problem for Chihoyim.
Well, it sounds like there's some clapping going on in the feature match area. I think one of our other matches might have just finished. Well, I'll try and get you information on that as soon as possible. And looks like we're off to the races. Chihoyim leads on Celestial Colonnade.
So Colonnade faces down against an unglued or unhinged island. That was the original island I liked.
Yeah, the unglued.
And that was back when I played lots and lots of blue.
Oh, no, those are just judges clapping, because judges are awesome. And Azure Mage comes down for Chihoyim there.
So here's an Inquisition of Kozilek, but this is one of the possible reasons that Dustin would be potentially ill-served. Ooh, a mental misstep. Potentially ill-served to take out too much of his removal. The potential for Azure Mage to really take over the game.
Untaps, and now that Azure Mage could take over the game if Dustin doesn't have a way to deal with it. And by misstepping that Inquisition, she could follow up with maybe a Squadron Hawk or something. Looks like there's another misstep in Chi's hand too. Gonna go for Preordain first though. And they have Judgment into the Royal. Probably gonna ship both of them, I think. And he does, plucking a new card. And just plays a Fortress tapped. And serves the turn. In this kind of situation, you just really want to dig to your lands, because once you have enough lands, your mage will just keep finding you action.
Azure Mage, if left unmolested, will just dominate the game.
It looks like Chi left in both days. He has one in his hand right now, too.
Okay. I'm curious how he sideboarded this.
It's a legitimate strategy, because you can, they'll go for Grave Titan or Sphinx. You can just day them out, I suppose. And there's Jace Valerian.
Jace Valerian is not very scary here. He if he ticks down, he just dies to Azure Mage. If he ticks up, he gives Chi a card.
I think you probably go up here.
I mean, I think you have to go up. You're just cycling Renewed Faith otherwise.
Right. Yeah. You have to go up, and then hopefully for Dustin, he can untap and kill the Azure Mage, and start the regularly scheduled Jacings. But draws. Was that another misstep?
It looks like he may just not have a land again.
Oh dear. Especially after you just let them both draw. Too.
Yeah.
And she plays up to 28 lands after sideboarding.
This is not a particularly fortunate series of events for Chihoyim.
Well, he does have a Oblivion Ring and wants to deal with that Jace.
Oblivion Ring isn't exactly what you want to use to deal with Jace when you have an Azure Mage going, but at the same time,
it's his own Jace. Yeah. Plays a Hawk. Has 5 cards, gonna go find 2 more. And there those Hawks go. Yeah, so I mean, he can serve, now he serves Azure Mage to Jace. Dustin might be forced to +2 Jace again, in which case Chi will get another card that can take him even closer to a land. Let's see. Looks like, I'm trying to make out exactly what Chi's hand is. Looks like a Oblivion Ring, Mental Misstep, Day of Judgment. I think there might be 2 Mental Missteps. No, only 1 Mental Misstep. He only has 2 in his list, so that actually be impossible. Preordain comes down for Dustin Flora. And he
does not get misstepped.
I think he sees some blue card and some black card, which is very descriptive for the blue-black deck, I know.
This is the blue card, and a black card,
there are no
and a
lands.
land card.
I think it was a mana leak. And leaves them and draws mana leak. Yep. Has a leak available for whatever she chooses to do. And Dustin will be the only person taking advantage of Jace this time. Plays a Swamp.
And passes the turn. So Jace is now at 2 counters, is it?
Jace on 2 counters. And she will likely just attack both guys on Jace.
Jace is very dead. And Chi is still very stuck on land.
And that's going to get mana leaks.
Jace does not resolve.
And yeah, she's still stuck on 3 lands. Unbelievable. 28 lands, and I think he kept 3 lands too.
And he's drawn an extra card from his opponent's Jace.
Yeah. Just 2 games, things are not coming up Chiho Yim here. Dustin's hand, I think, is that a Consecrated Sphinx? Oh my.
Well, he cannot play it quite yet.
Liliana Vest.
Ooh.
Oh, there's the best herself. Not the new version. New version is certainly very sleek, but the old version is still getting some work done here right before the new one comes out.
Yeah, Chihoyam is in a very rough spot here, facing down Liliana Vest with only 3 land, and his opponent has 5 mana in play, which means he can threaten to drop Consecrated Sphinx or Grave Titan the following turn.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, this is really rough for Chihoyam. Alright, he discards the Squadron Hawk. And now he's going to untap and send both guys at Liliana. Does he find a land, though?
And I don't think that was a land.
There's either... I don't think it was either. Maybe it was Inkmoth Nexus, the best case scenario. It doesn't look like it, though.
He's checking out the graveyard.
Oh, man. Alright, we'll serve at Liliana, drop her to 3 loyalty.
I mean...
Still considering.
It's possible that you just want to cast Oblivion Ring here. I don't know.
Oh, he's attacked
2-player. Yeah, I think he's Oblivion Ringing. I think he can't afford. Like Liliana is just so big. Oh, that was another land. Okay.
So he did find the
and there it is. There's the Oblivion Ring. Okay. So yeah, he wants to be able to. It looks like he's just gonna get Sphinx next turn though.
Yep, and he does have the day, but Dustin's gonna end up way ahead on that exchange.
Yeah, I mean he loses his, all of his threats in the board, and Dustin draws 2 extra cards out of the deal as well.
All right, let's see. Down comes Jace Beleren for Dustin Flora. And he's gonna pick up another card. Shows you how powerful the original Jace still is, still dominating. Another card that is just gone in a couple weeks.
Did he? I thought he had the ability to cast a Consecrated Sphinx there.
Possibly didn't have the land.
I'm pretty sure that card on top of his hand is.
I'm pretty sure he did too.
Ring.
I thought for sure it would just be Sphinx.
Did he not have a Sphinx? Was I wrong about?
No, he definitely has a Sphinx. Surgical Extraction.
That's what I thought was a land. It would be so much better if it was just a land.
What are you extracting? Squadron Hawks? I don't know. It just seems terrible.
It's like, do I really even want to use my mental misstep on this? I thought that was a land because in the text box, the sort of foily thing looked like a blue mana symbol to me. So I thought he just had an island in his hand.
I mean, generally I'm not a big fan of cards like Surgical Extraction, and especially in this matchup. All right, so he does end up misstepping the Surgical Extraction, and takes care of that. So it did draw out a misstep. On the back tables, the other blue-black player also won. So if Dustin Flora
also won it, are you getting ahead of ourselves right here?
No, the other blue-black player.
You said also won. Which in addition to this.
In addition, correct. In addition to this blue-black.
So
player.
blue-black, we do have a blue-black deck onto the semifinals
right,
in the other bracket. Yes.
Yeah. If this blue-black player wins, we'll have a mirror match in the semis, which is interesting because we did not see very much blue-black at all today.
Yeah, blue-black was a deck that wasn't super popular. And it looks like Chiho Yim is coming back in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he have a mana leak in his hand? Because I don't see one.
He can start Azure Maging.
He can, but I mean, his opponent is sitting on the very, very dangerous 5 mana, which is a place that blue-black is very scary from.
I mean, if he just passes, he can represent mana leak. Oh, he's just tectonic.
Yeah, I think I might have made that play if I were him. I think I would have also done that. He gets to put more pressure on the board by playing his Squadron Hawk, and keep his opponent off of the ability to cast a game-ending Sphinx or Grave Titan his turn. Since Chiho Yim's only removal in his hand is that Day of Judgment, He's really in a tough spot as opponent resolves Consecrated Sphinx. So with no mana leak in his hand, I think he has to try to go for the land destruction plan and keep his opponent off of 6.
If he had left 2 up, do you think Dustin would go for the Sphinx?
I mean, given the position, it's not clear that he could afford not to.
Fair enough. And if Dustin doesn't have a 5th land, then he's just in a very, very bad position,
Right.
too. Looks like Dustin's flicking through his cards. I see a Sphinx, a Jace Balerion, 2 others. Not sure what. There's Creeping Tarpit.
And a Black Sun Zenith.
Oh, that's the card I was gonna say.
And that's gonna go in the deck, not the discard pile
we
there.
need to. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because
they
they take care of it.
Okay.
Good.
So Black Sun Zenith. Wow, that was definitely a.
That was the card.
It's funny because we were talking about how important that card could be in the situations where you needed to clear the board of Hawks. He even got an Azure Mage out of the deal
which
as well.
Which is a very, very big deal. And now Shiho Yim has nothing going on. Dustin is 1 land away from landing that Consecrated Sphinx. Looks like his hand is Squadron Hawk, Day, Royal. Maybe an Oblivion Ring.
So he gets another Hawk down, and he's still sitting here stalled on land, and his opponent is not. So
he goes for the Sphinx.
Yeah, it looked like Chihoyam might have been coming back in this, but that Black Sun Zenith followed up by a Sphinx when he is still hurting for mana is making his life
drawing an untapped land a day.
Yeah, he really needs to draw. Well, it looks like he's debating casting into the Royal on his upkeep, which doesn't really do very much here. But
he does go for it.
He goes for it.
Gives him an extra draw step, I suppose.
Yep. So, is that another? Was it a land?
Yeah, I think it was Tectonic Edge.
So,
or Misty Rainforest. Okay.
I think he might just need to Tectonic Edge here. I think he might just need to kill his opponent's land.
Yep, you just edge him and
hope
he doesn't have a land.
Yeah.
Edge him and put faith in your little birdie.
Come on, Hawk.
All right, edges down and Creeping Tarpit.
You've done it before, you can do it again. I don't know if you've killed an opponent from 12 life who you can't afford to have draw a single land, but
there are other ways we put a clock on him.
It's true.
We got a Cloth Nexus.
we have 2 different possible double-digit turn clocks.
I like how she has used his Tectonic Edges here. I don't think a lot of players would have used them in this way.
I think that's one thing that when you see good Caw-Blade players playing, one of the things that marks the difference is their use of Tectonic Edge. I think that using Tectonic Edge aggressively and keeping your opponent off of the ability to play important spells is very, very important.
There's Inquisition of Kozilek puts down Day, Angel, Land.
So, a swing and a miss.
So she has a 4th land he can play, admittedly not a white one.
And he cannot cast any of his spells without another white land. So, and Dustin Flora has the 6th land, but chose to lead with the Inquisition instead.
And she draws the white source, so he has the fortress in case he wants to use it.
He's still in just such bad shape. His opponent still has Consecrated Sphinx in his hand.
Right. And if he goes to Angel, his opponent's just going to go Sphinx, they get Day.
And he plays the Angel anyway. I don't know what the plan is here, because he can't just let Sphinx live.
Right, and he's gonna get so much value out of it because Dustin's gonna go Sphinx. We just draw a card off Jace, draw 2 cards, draw 2 cards. We got 5 cards. Oh, it's a mess.
We were talking about before the matchup between Blue Black Control and Kago last year around the World Championships. One of the cards that has made a big difference in that matchup is Consecrated Sphinx. The fact that Blue Black Control has basically Consecrated Sphinx superiority because it can actually kill them cheaply, whereas Blue White is in a rough spot when one resolves.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
I mean, they can block like your flyers. They can do all kinds of stuff. That's pretty potent. Looks like Dustin has a 7th land in his hand. He can play. Yep, there comes down Tarpit, and plays Preordained. Oh no, it's Drowned Catacombs Preordained. Excuse me. And sees Into the Royal and another card. Leaves the mystery card on top. Puts Into the Royal on the bottom. And he's just gonna pass. And
He doesn't need to do much more than pass and draw cards here.
yeah,
So
draw
Trigger.
2, Sphinx.
trigger.
He just doesn't feel like it. I mean, that's cool too.
Is he just not drawing from his Sphinx?
Main phase?
Chi-Hoi-Im has certainly drawn his card.
Let me know when I have priority.
Yeah.
I mean, she has to jam that.
Is he like
thing.
debating whether he's gonna draw?
I don't.
Is just or you
I don't
just
get it.
forget that he just drew on his turn from his consecrated Sphinx.
I mean, does he think about? There's no reason why he would surgical extraction. Plus, he already used.
He already
it, right?
used the
Or I
surgical
guess
extraction.
if he brought in a second one for some reason.
Yeah, is that in it?
That-
It
that
is.
is-
It is absolutely what's happening here.
First of all, why would you do that now? Would you want draw your 4 cards?
Yeah,
first?
draw your
Or draw
well,
two
2
cards.
cards. Yeah,
Sorry.
but
All right. Now he points the concentrated Sphinx, and they're trying to figure it out. I think his own card distracted him from remembering his consecrated Sphinx. He was so focused on what to surgical extraction, he forgot to draw cards. Now I think the judge will likely let him back up and draw 2 cards
yep. Okay, he's drawing.
because they're still within the draw step.
Right.
And, no one has done anything to indicate that they're outside of the draw step.
So is he going to go for the extraction? Well, he's certainly telegraphing that he has it.
And no other reason why I would be
Let
doing
me
this.
look through your graveyard while I'm tapped out
in your draw step.
in your draw step,
and
I've
tank.
played a surgical extraction this game, and I'm going to tank. What
why
could
would
be
you
in
board
my
surgical
hand?
extraction in this matchup?
It's not clear to me exactly why you would play surgical extraction in your deck, but boarding it in here, I think, is definitely an even bigger question.
Well, Chi-Hoi-Im is going to likely serve here with Angel and Hawk.
And this could be, a serious fake out if he actually had Dismember, which the opponent hadn't seen yet. Boom. He has Dismember in his deck.
Does
But
that
I don't
Dismember
see
in
one in
his
his hand, and I don't know if they're in his deck after sideboarding. Though it looks like it might be a black card, the last card in there.
If he has
It
it, then.
might be Dismember.
Oh man, if he has, that'd be huge. I think that was Misty Rainforest. I
Oh.
don't think he's got black card.
Maybe he gets some free damage in.
Getting the free.
Yeah,
point.
that's a Mysterious Forest.
She also has access to Gideon Jura, which is solid.
I mean, Gideon does not do enough here.
No, I
Gideon
mean you have to
doesn't-
day. I mean, there's no other
Okay,
way.
so he's actually casting the surgical extraction to find out if there's a Dismember in his hand, I think.
All right. Pay 2 life, surgical extraction here. What
It's
if
kind
you
of like a Gataxian Probe, except you don't draw a card.
draw cards out of your opponent's deck. What is he extracting?
I'm not sure.
Not clear on what the extraction target is. Yeah, the thing about surgical extraction is there's no guarantee you're going to trade a card for any card in their hand, and there's no real guarantees about how it's going to work. Sometimes, yes, the Ardex works reasonable. If you like hit the Seaver Exarch somehow against Splinter Twin, it's very good. But how often is it going to be better than Memoricide? You have to set it up, and it takes so much effort.
It's also, I mean, even it's funny because even a card like Memoricide, I think, is just a class of card that's typically been
agreed.
very, very overvalued in Magic. If you like, even playing against like Valakut, if you Memoricide a Valakut deck and take Primeval Titan, you can very well just die to Inferno.
Yeah, or Avenger.
Right.
Every deck that is susceptible to surgical extraction or Memoricide, they have other
Looks like-
ways.
It looks like he took Colonnade, so he's trying to keep Chi-Hoi-Im from drawing in more land, I guess.
And I guess he also wanted to see what was available in Dustin's hand, or in Chi's hand. rather.
Right. Well, I guess also look through his deck. So I mean, he knows is there whether there's. He actually already looked through his deck, so he should know whether there's Dismember in his deck. Period. Already. Maybe he was just wondering if he forgot. But I mean, the the peak effect of it, was certainly relatively meaningful there. So Day comes out, kills the Sphinx.
Plays Misty Rainforest.
But I mean, Dustin Flora still has the Jace Laren in play, and Chihoyem is still low on land.
Oh, she chooses not to play that Misty Rainforest.
Really?
Yep. I think he's got a Mirror Angel in hand, so he wants to get the tokens.
Yes. Okay.
And so he's gonna pass. Dustin, does he have Grave Titan? Does he have Sphinx? I don't think he has the action. He could serve with Quivering Tarpit, I suppose. There's Drowned Catacomb from Dustin Flora. And tap 2.
Looks like, double tech edge. So I'm not sure why he wouldn't just kill both white sources, but I guess maybe there's some chance Inkmoth Nexus matters. But yeah, this game is pretty much all but over.
And into the Royal on the Overring Holding Concentrated Space.
And
she
that's
just
it.
concedes.
So there's the game.
All right, that's it, boys.
So Dustin Flora will be moving on to the semifinals. Will be played tomorrow morning. Chihoyem will have to settle for a top 8 finish.
Still very solid for the player. I mean, I like his list. I feel like he got kind of unfairly managed just since he kept 3 lands at 28.
It is pretty crazy that he stalled on land both games with so many lands in his deck.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. That's magic.
It's magic. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes it happens in the one match you really wish it didn't.
Yep. I mean, you're sitting in a chair shuffling cards. These things, they can happen. Well, we'll see if there are any other. Matches we can get you real fast. In the meantime, congratulations to Real Evil Genius on Twitter, aka Jason. Congratulations,
Jason.
Congratulations. Man, Real Evil Genius is such a better name. Why don't your parents name you that? All right, congratulations for winning 3 months of free premium on StarCityGames.com. It'll be awarded to you within the next couple of days. You'll still be able to read some of the best articles out there on the internet and watch some of the best articles out there on the internet, for that matter, by some of the best minds in the game. I know you've been doing this. Yeah. Well,
the best minds plus
the best minds plus people above the best minds. Right? I know you've been doing this for a while. Like I've seen Real Evil Genius play in almost a lot of our contests. So nice to see you win one. Congratulations.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I mean, if you weren't watching, you wouldn't be able to enter. So.
It's true.
Very cool. So we'll see if we have got another match we can move to here. I know a couple matches have finished up, like we said. Both Blue Black decks ended up victorious. They will be playing in the quarterfinals.
Yes, we'll have a Blue Black Mirror match in the quarters, and
we know there's a guaranteed Tempered Steel Mirror match.
Tempered Steel deck, yeah, and it's actually going to be because the other
it's going to be Steel versus red, right?
So it'll be Steel versus Red, and then Blue Black Mirror will be our brackets tomorrow.
Wow, feel like I have to see the other Blue Black list, but Steel versus Red, it's actually Steel versus Red pretty close most of the time.
It's a very interesting matchup. It depends. A lot on how often the Steel deck draws the card Tempered Steel. It's by far the most important card because the red decks have so many cards that can deal with their small creatures, whereas once Tempered Steel comes into play, a lot of things start to get out of range.
Very cool. Well, are there any other matches we can switch to?
We are looking right now.
Check and find out. Yeah, I mean, I thought this match might be a little closer, but yeah, she just.
I mean, we saw just how powerful the Sphinx dominance of Blue Black is.
Yes, that too.
The fact that the Blue Black deck is much better positioned to know when it is safe to play Sphinx, to pick apart its opponent's ability to deal with its Sphinx, and to kill opposing Sphinxes. Makes it very much a favorite in that element of the matchup. The Blue White deck, the Cobblade deck, really needs to be able to establish quick pressure and not get those Hawks killed. To be able to come out on top, and we saw Chihoyem. He came out with a reasonably quick start, but that Black Sun Zenith put an end to his plans, and along with the fact that he just couldn't draw fourth land.
That Singleton Zenith likely won him the game. So Tabler. All right, so Tabler, Josh Tabler, I believe, or Jason, Mike Taylor. 4 letters.
So. Mike Tabler will be moving on to the semifinals tomorrow as well, playing red.
So, I mean, we have the bracket, though. It'll definitely be Blue Black versus Blue Black and Steel versus Red. So, it should be interesting to watch. We'll try and get the Steel versus Red matchup and then a move over to blue-black matchup if there's time.
Looks like they're in game 3 over here, I think. So we're finding out.
Finding out if they're in game. There's only one match left going on. If there's still time left, we'll try and get them over. We can't switch them while they're in the middle of the game. If they're in game 2, there's a chance that we'll be able to get them on camera. But I would guess most likely they're in game 3 and we won't be able to get them. Going to see if we can.
So with blue, black, red, and steel, what's your pick to win?
I think a lot depends on if steel beats blue, black.
Sure.
I think
If steel beats red, you
I think if steel beats red, it probably wins.
yes. I think that's a reasonably good assessment.
I think that if red beats steel, it was going to be a lot closer. I think blue black can certainly beat red, and red can certainly beat blue black depending on the build. I think tempered steel will smash blue black.
Yeah, I mean one of the reasons that blue black fell out of favor for a lot of players was that it matches up pretty poorly against tempered steel. I mean, if you look at least Dustin Flora's list, he has 3 copies of Go for the Throat in his main deck. That was that was a card that became a lot less popular thanks to the rise of tempered steel. And now if Dustin Flora does move on to the finals and faces tempered steel, will be a card he wishes he didn't have.
Yeah, I mean, the blue black lists have kind of evolved away. And no one's been playing tempered steel. Someone told me in round 2 of this event they thought this was tempered steel's event to win. And it could very well be.
I mean, it's a very, very, very powerful deck, and when people stop paying attention to it, it's a deck that can very easily just turn around and win a tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw it win U.S. Nationals in quite the same fashion, where it kind of wasn't played a lot, like kind of snuck through, and then Ali Andrade ended up taking down the whole tournament with it. And
well, let's talk about tempered steel. But
wow.
But tempered steel did win Japanese Nationals in very much the same way.
All right, they're in game 3. All right, well, we're gonna cut off for today. This was the quarterfinals of the Star City Games Open Series here in Atlanta. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to bring you